Today I thought we'd try something a little bit different and play a nature-themed game. Of course, I'm still a zoologist and still passionate about education, so you will learn a bit about each of the species in this video, but sometimes it's nice just to have a little bit of fun. We're going to play a UK wildlife haiku guessing game, but before we start I'm going to quickly tell you how to play. A haiku, in its simplest description, is a structure for poems that originated in Japan. The first line of the poem contains 5 syllables, the second line contains 7 syllables, and the third line contains 5 syllables. In this game, I'm going to be giving you the first 2 lines, and based on them, you're going to be guessing the third line. To help you out with this, I'll give you a quick breakdown of what a syllable is, bearing in mind that I'm not a linguist. Basically, a syllable is how many beats there are when you're pronouncing a word. So the word word is just 1 beat, so 1 syllable. Linguist is 2 beats, so 2 syllables. Meanwhile, syllable is 3 beats, so has 3 syllables. The third line that you're going to be guessing in a haiku will always have 5 syllables, so you're looking for an answer that contains those 5 syllables or 5 beats. So for example, one answer could be Canadian goose. Canadian goose. The last line that you'll be guessing will always be an animal species that you can find in the UK. It will be an English name rather than the Latin species name. It could be the full English name, so it could be European badger instead of badger, but it won't be either of those because it still needs to follow the 5-syllable rule. In general, a haiku is supposed to evoke certain feelings about the world within you, rather than just giving you some facts. So a poem that follows the traditional 5-7-5 syllable structure but doesn't invoke any feelings about the world is considered to be more of a pseudo-haiku. So for example, the goose has feathers. It can swim and fly in pairs. Canadian goose. This does follow the 5-7-5 syllable structure, but it doesn't cause any sort of emotions or scenic feelings, so it would be more of a pseudo-haiku. For all of the haikus that I created for this video, I've tried to keep those first 2 lines as having those feelings about the world that traditional haikus would have, while also keeping enough information within them that you're able to guess the species name that is the last line. Keep track of which ones you get right and let me know your score in the comments. Also let me know if you find any particularly easy or challenging, because I'd love your feedback on that, and if you like this game we can maybe do some more in the future. Haiku number 1. Flying through the dark. Lone voice of 1,000 songs. Flying through the dark. Lone voice of 1,000 songs. Common nightingale. Did you know that the common nightingale is one of the few bird species in the UK that regularly sings at night? A lone male will call out trying to attract a female with up to 1,000 different sounds to choose from. Other highly vocal species like skylarks and blackbirds only have a few hundred sounds to choose from. Sadly, common nightingales are on the decline in the UK, with only around 7,000 breeding pairs left. Haiku number 2. Splash, old trees crash down. Young lives safe in still water. Splash, old trees crash down. Young lives safe in still water. Eurasian beaver. The Eurasian beaver was once extinct in the UK, but thanks to conservation work it's slowly making a comeback. This species is an ecosystem engineer, pulling down trees to divert river courses and create slow-moving pools of water where they can safely raise their young. Haiku number 3. The dark roof corner. Small shadow, swooping, hunting. The dark roof corner. Small shadow, swooping, hunting. Common pipistrelle. One of our smallest and most common bat species. If you live in the UK, there's a good chance you've seen a common pipistrelle. This mammal is so small that they can fit inside a matchbox, which means they're exceptionally good at finding little gaps within roofs to go in and make their roosts there. In the evenings, they will leave these roosts with fast fluttering flights in the search of insects to hunt for. Haiku number 4. Fields, the boxer's stage. Brown fur flies, the fox looks on. Fields, the boxer's stage. Brown fur flies, the fox looks on. European hare. Did you know that the mountain hare is actually our only native lagomorph? Both rabbits and European hares were introduced here and have spread across our countries since then. Males during breeding season will persistently pursue a female over open land, and if they annoy her too much, she'll stand up on her hind legs and fight them off by punching with her front paws. Haiku number 5. Yellow and black flash. A warm breeze. The buzzing air. Yellow and black flash. A warm breeze. The buzzing air. Early bumblebee. The early bumblebee is one of the signs to look out for that spring is on its way. As one of our earliest bumblebee species, these new queens will emerge right at the start of spring in search of new nesting sites. There she will raise her young, who will all tend to her in the nest until it's time for the new queens to emerge at the end of summer and look for their own nesting sites. Haiku number 6. A shoveling paw. Dirt mounds up, up, out of sight. A shoveling paw, dirt mounds up, up, out of sight. European mole. Did you know that despite their poor eyesight, moles are incredibly good at finding their way around? They're able to sense vibrations and smell that can help them find their way around their tunnels and search for their earthworm prey. They have these huge shovel-shaped paws which can help them move through up to 20 meters of dirt a day. But if they want to keep their tunnels clear, then all that soil has to go somewhere, so they push it up through the looser dirt and form molehills up on the surface. Haiku number 7. Your cubs worn on necks, but you run to water, free. Your cubs worn on necks, but you run to water, free. American mink. American mink were originally brought over to the UK to be farmed for their fur. Their soft coats were really great for lining our clothing, but a few of them managed to escape and they soon established breeding populations here. This was really bad news for our native wildlife because they eat a range of small mammals, crustaceans and fish. They've particularly been credited for the steep decline in our native water voles, which are another mammal that lives its life closely associated to rivers. Haiku number 8. Reeds hide marshland ducks. Airbound cheetah diving down. Reeds hide marshland ducks. Airbound cheetah diving down. Peregrine falcon. Did you know that the peregrine falcon is the fastest bird in the world? It dives from high up in the sky in a behaviour known as stooping to reach almost 200 miles per hour. This means that its favoured and primary food source, other birds, tend to have little chance of escaping. Its most favoured prey tends to be medium-sized birds like pigeons and ducks. That's our haiku game done. Let me know in the comments which ones you managed to guess. If you want to support me in continuing to create these free educational videos, then check out my new Patreon page. I have 5 different monthly support tiers to choose from, ranging from just £2 up to the higher tiers where you can vote for video topics, have your name credited at the end of each video, receive personalised art of any UK species, and get one-on-one consultation calls with me on any nature-related topic of your choice. Subscribe to Ferroforest to keep learning about UK nature.